Hello and welcome. You're on Friday Double Bill. This is that show where we catch every movie in town and we help you decide whether it's a Deko or a Peko in the theaters. My name is Mayank Shekhar. That's Fahad Samar. Margarita With A Straw, directed by Shonali Bose, is a film about a young girl who suffers from cerebral palsy. This condition basically affects motor movements, although her brain functions absolutely fine. The girl Laila is in fact a talented lyricist who lives with her parents and a younger sibling in Delhi. The film essentially examines her sexual urges. She moves to New York and discovers that she's actually bisexual. She falls for a Pakistani/Bangladeshi blind girl. Margarita With A Straw is Shonali Bose's second film after Amu in 2004. It stars Kalki in the lead role. Former Southern star Revathy plays her mother.
Man, this is not just a film about disability, and also, as you said, it's also about sexuality, coming of age. And this is an area that is very rarely discussed in cinema, which is handicapped people or differently abled people, their urges, their sexual urges, how do they deal with it. A very close friend of mine, Firdos Kanga, had written a bestseller, international bestseller called Trying to Grow, about his own disability as a young Parsi boy. And then he travels abroad and he finds love, and it's a gay relationship. And it was also made into a film, and this was wonderful to see it now in this girl whose life it is ostensibly inspired from. Malini was in college with me. It's so wonderful to see Kalki bring that alive in such a heartfelt way. It's obviously an extremely earnest performance. I think at some point she's really luminous in her portrayal of this character, and it is heartbreaking. I just found there was too much heartbreak in the film. You've also got Revathy, who I think is just one of the finest actors in India, playing the mother to perfection. But then you've got her illnesses, you've got a lot of one tragedy heaped upon another, and I think that kind of weighs on you, particularly in a film like this, which should be more about upliftment and empowerment and a sense of coming of age. What did you think?
Well, I mean, I sort of disagree with you on that front, because I felt that there was some joy of life there. And I think what I find beautiful about this movie is that while at one end there's a person who's suffering from a particular condition, a sort of a motor movement condition rather than something that affects the brain, but it's really about her life rather than the condition alone. And if one were to really put it in terms of a genre, it's more an LGBT film or a queer film in that sense. I happened to be on a jury of one of these festivals once, and I was so tired of sitting through one film after the other which is on the same theme, and then it suddenly occurred to me when I started watching better movies in that festival that really doesn't matter if you're gay or if you're lesbian, so long as it's really a story about love at the end of the day. And this is really a film about that. I mean, if you just take away cerebral palsy from the film, I think it could also be the story of a teenage girl and what she goes through. Margarita With A Straw, by the way, and the viewers must know this, is the first drink that she ever has.
First alcoholic drink she ever has.
First alcoholic drink that she has. I think I would usually mean drink as alcoholic. And the first time that she actually has, a sexual encounter, by the way, has been locked off entirely from the movie. And I've just had it with the censor board and the way they've been going about it with very, very sensitive films like these. The impact of the first rejection is very important in this picture, but suddenly, it cuts into another scene. And I think if we see it in its totality, it might even be a better film than the one we watched in the theater.
For me, the oh my god moment was really about how far we've come, even in terms of the censor board. Given that we are talking about a same-sex relationship, it is depicted quite graphically. There's a lot of skin show in the sense that, you do see them making love. You do have another heterosexual sex scene as well. So I thought this was actually quite, we've come a long way from the days of fire and the fact that, people were vandalizing the cinema halls. 90s, yes. Yeah, but how Neanderthal sometimes our censor board is. So the fact that you say that they've actually chopped off another lovemaking scene.
It was too obvious to me, and I wanted to get into that particular scene, and suddenly there's a jump cut. You know what I mean? And that is the scene that leaves an impact on the main character's mind. Now, of course, a character like this, Fahad, is written or penciled in purely to pick up every possible award there is. And yes, my oh my god moment has to be Kalki and her portrayal of Laila. There was one of the juries that this picture went to where she picked up the Best Actress award, I think Melbourne, if I'm not mistaken. And the jury actually felt or believed that Kalki actually suffers from cerebral palsy. I mean, that is the level of precision that she's given to this character, and she's done a phenomenal job, and of course in a very obvious way.
You know, I saw Margarita with a Straw right after watching Court. That was a great film. I think this film is a very good film. It has all the elements that will entertain you, it will enthrall you, it will make you think, it gives you a lot of provocation as well. This is a thinking person's film. By all means, please watch it. Theatre mein dekho, zarur dekho, aur jaldi dekho.
Well, we've gone on and on and on about Kalki, as we must, but there's also Revathy, there are also the other actors who've done a phenomenal job in this picture. This is a grim film, but that you already know, given the subject we're dealing with. It's also a very lively film. What is there not to like? I think you should watch it in the theatre. That's it for Friday Double Bill. Tell us what you think of the films. Tell us what you think of the show. Subscribe to our channel.